testimony. Now, the reason I'm a little late today, I have been busy with interviews all day. It all started when this morning they read the Daily News and they says that, you know, in reference to Maurice Clemons, and they said that Bishop Jordan was not available for contact. And we were wondering, you know, like what in heaven's name is going on. So we saw that he, unfortunately, his life has been taken, and he is now in eternity. And in the process of all of this, we had to get some interviews going today because they found out he was following us on Twitter. And when I looked at the Twitter page, he was there saying, "I am live streaming with you right now." So that's what he was sending out tweets, and he was following us on live streaming. But one of the amazing things that, you know, it made us begin to go back and reminisce on a lot of the things that was happening during that time is that he was, in the month of June, he had made a journey here to New York. And that was the first time we had laid eyes on him. And at the point of where we began to lay eyes on him, hold on one moment, I think my internet has went out. Hold on one moment. Okay. I think we lost internet here on the stage here, on the studio. I want to make sure that we don't lose it on the phone line, phone conference. So I need the technician here to let me know here if they need to reboot the system. Hopefully they don't. But they can't hear me in the chat room. I think the internet's going down. I think y'all just don't.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm losing. Okay, it just came back up, but it came back very, very low.
Okay.
It came back very, very low. And I'm going to come back to the story. Only got 20% internet, 15% signal. So it's like we just had a surge. Does someone let Jonathan know? He should be sitting right next door.
Tangela Fleming is in the queue.
Okay, Tangela Flemings is in the queue.
Yes, that's the prophet.
Okay. Let's see, can we get Tangela Fleming's story? I'm going to come back with the, well, let me just see if I can finish that up. I'm trying to see. How's your internet, Prophet Miola?
It looks okay.
It looks okay? Internet, I need you to look at this, Prophet Jonathan. This is our techno-prophet here. Assembly Governor, the only one that has lost internet power here. That's all I have here. I'm hitting find again. Of course, since you're standing here, it should work, and it don't. So I feel good right now that it is not working. But if you take that away, I can't see the chat room or anything. Okay. So, in the process, of this, we remember him coming to the church, and at the time in the sanctuary, he said, he came, and we said, "Did you fly here?" He says, "No, I drove." And then after him saying he drove here, he says that God told me to come here. He says, and I've been running from the police. And the police have been knocking at my door ever since. So, of course, during that time, after that, you know, I made contact with him. And unfortunately, after talking to him, I found that he was he's a very troubled man. And we suggested he turn himself in to the police and get some help, get his lawyer to get him some help or get some help so he can be evaluated. And after that, we hadn't heard no more from him since about August, since about July or August, I believe. But during that season, we didn't know that at that time he was evidently locked up. And then from my understanding today, after talking to a few of the journalists, he was evidently let out a week ago. And this is when he went and took the lives of 4 officers. And so it's just kind of interesting that when you start looking at this whole scenario, what was happening in his life and, what made him, want to make a connection after looking at us. That was one of the things he said. He had watched us on the Word Network. So watching us on television, and then he came and said he had never been in church before, which I thought was amazing, shocking. And then we started going back to the video footage that where he began to say, where his friend came and says, my friend over here is Jesus. And we had to kind of address that because on the night before we had a little fiasco with him. I think he was trying to get up on the stage. But, he wasn't a violent man when he was there. He was just someone that I saw needed some help. And it was a real cry for help. And so our prayers are going to be with the family. A lot of things we found out over the last 2 days, like when he was 16 years old, they gave him like 100 years. That was the reason why the clemency was granted. They gave a 16-year-old person 100 years for theft or whatever the situation was, and I think that's why then Governor Huckabee felt as though he should be granted clemency. But I think one of the things we need to ask the question is, why did a judge feel as though he needed to be given 100 years? And in the process of looking at that, we should begin to start to ask that question, what did the judge see on that day when he was, giving that sentence to probably try to send a message home? So we've been doing a lot of interviews with the media, so we just wanted to let our streaming audience know so that you would, just kind of be prepared at what will be taking place. And so we did today Fox News. I think they're going to be running it local tonight at like 10 o'clock, and at 11, I think, on UPN 9. And then the Daily News, of course, have something already posted up on the internet. So it'll be on the Daily News in the morning. And Inside Edition, which was there at the church with the interview, I believe their interview is going to run tomorrow. And the AP wire was at the church today, footage to get things out. So just want you to know. And again, we have to look back and say, and that's the power of prophecy. And it's interesting because we don't know how many people's lives we are touching through streaming, through television, through who's watching us, who's following us. I mean, today we are in a media age, and just to think that someone did some search and all he said in Twitter, I am watching. I am streaming live. That's what he said. I am streaming live, and I'm looking for Bishop Jordan and Zoe Ministries. Powerful. And so...
Wow, that's an amazing mess, bro. Okay.
It is, isn't it? I mean, in today's age of technology.
Yeah. Brings me back to SS out of Florida, who said he was high, and the Word Network came up. And he called in, and his life has been turned around since.
Yeah, we are, and one of the things is that the